Welcome to my YouTube channel, my Intuition 4865. This is environmental studies for non-computer science students. That is automobile, aeronautical, mechanical engineering, marine engineering, electronics and communication, electric and electronics students for this. Fifth semester students of Visvesvaraya Technological University, environmental studies, module 3. Module 1, module 2 videos are already available in my YouTube channel. You can refer it. The study material PDF format is available in the description box of each video, theory video. And I am also preparing a separate MCQ, multiple choice question, option and answer with no voice disturbance. That also you can use as a reference for before going for your exam. Okay, so module 3, that is about environmental pollutions, waste management. Environmental pollution it refers to the contamination of the natural resources like air, water, soil by the harmful substances. So this module, it covers the sources, the impact, the corrective and preventive measures, relevant environmental act associated with the different types of pollutions. So move on to first one, that is surface and groundwater pollution. Water pollution, it happens when harmful substances, when they mix with the water in the rivers, in the lakes, or even in groundwater. So this pollution, it affects the health of humans, health of animals and plants. It damages the balance of ecosystem. So let us see what are the causes or the impact, what are the solutions to the water pollution in detail. The sources of water pollution, there are surface water pollution. Surface water, it refers to the rivers, lakes and oceans. The pollution happens when the waste or the harmful substances, they enter these water bodies. It may be from industrial discharge, it may be from agricultural runoff, it may be the sewage and wastewater, or it may be the oil spill. Industrial discharge, the factories, industry, they release chemicals, they release dyes and other waste directly into the rivers and lakes. The agricultural fields, uses excess pesticides, fertilizers, which are used in farming. They get washed into rivers during the rain. Sewage and wastewater, the untreated sewage from the homes or from the cities, they flow into the rivers. Then accidental during the oil transport, with the spillage of oil into oceans by the ship. This will harm the marine life. Now the groundwater pollution, that is groundwater, it is stored beneath the earth's surface, the wells mainly. The pollution occurs when harmful chemicals, they seep into the soil and mix with the groundwater sources. It may be by leaching from the landfill, it may be through from the agricultural chemicals, or it may be the due to the improper waste disposal. Okay, so leaching is leaching from landfill means when landfills they release the toxic substances into the soil. Landfill means where the wastes are kept stored. And agriculture chemicals, excess usage of these pesticides and fertilizers, they even seep into the groundwater. Not only flow through the rainwater, they can also seep to the groundwater. Improper waste disposal, that is dumping the hazardous materials without care, which pollutes the groundwater. Now the impacts of water pollution, it is happening. The water pollution have severe impacts on the aquatic life and its biodiversity. Means the polluted water, it will kill the fish, it will kill the plants and other organisms which are living in water. It upset the balance of the water aquatic ecosystem. On human health, the polluted water, it causes diseases like cholera, uh, dysentery, and other waterborne diseases. Then on agricultural and the soil quality, the contaminated water which is used for farming, it reduces the soil fertility, it harms the crops growth. The corrective and preventive measures, that is a treatment of wastewater. These are all done to reduce or to prevent the water pollution. The steps are like a treatment of wastewater, eco-friendly agricultural practices, and ensuring strict laws. Treatment of wastewater, the industries or factories and the cities, they should treat the wastewater before releasing it into the rivers. The sewage treatment plants, it will help to clean the household and industrial waste. Eco-friendly agriculture practices should be used by the farmers. They should use organic fertilizers, and the pest control methods should be done such a way that it should not harm the water sources. The government can create strict, or they can enforce laws to stop dumping the harmful chemicals into water bodies, So the relevant act, the Water Prevention Control of Pollution Act of 1974. This is an Indian law which focuses on preventing water pollution and maintaining the quality of water sources. It regulates industries and the municipalities to ensure water is not contaminated. Case study, case study, the Ganga Action Plan. The Ganga Action Plan was launched in India in order to clean the Ganga River. Is one of the most polluted rivers in the world. And this plan of Ganga River cleaning was aimed to treat the sewage or industrial waste, raise the public awareness, as well as to regulate the industries. Treat sewage and industrial wastewater, that build treatment plant to clean the water before it enters the Ganga River. Educating the people on the importance of keeping river clean comes under the raising the public awareness, and ensuring the factories not to release untreated waste into Ganges comes under the regulation of industries. Although the challenges remain, the plan reduced the pollution in some areas of the river, not fully. Then noise pollution. Noise pollution, it is the noise pollution happens when there is too much noise in the environment, and this noisy atmosphere, it becomes harmful for humans, animals, and as well as for the surroundings. So this is often caused by activities like the transportation, construction works, and the urbanization. So let's see more sources, impact, and ways to control the noise pollution. The sources, okay, sources, it can be road, the traffic, airplanes, factories, construction sites, urbanization. Road and traffic, car, bus, the trucks, they create a constant noise in the cities, especially in cities, not in the road. Once in a while a vehicle goes. Okay, cities, it is continuous movement of vehicles. The honking and the traffic jam make the problem worse, because one feel that if they horn, the next vehicle automatically will move, but it will not happen. If the traffic is clear, then only it can move. So continuous honking is of no use, but people have the habit of doing that. That creates a noise pollution. Then aeroplanes, airports, and the flight path, on the path, it makes a very loud noise when takeoff and landing. So that is another type of noise pollution. The factories, machines, and the equipments which are used in industries, they generate high noise level. For me, nearby one industry is coconut oil industry. They continuously run to maintain the heat, so that sound of the metal continuous one. The railway line is nearby, so it's another way of pollution, noise pollution for me here. Okay, now construction sites, activities like drilling, the hammering, and use of heavy machines, they create noise pollution during the building constructions or building projects. Urbanization, urbanization, that is the because of that the busy city life with the people, with vehicles, with the activities, the entertainment activities, these all contribute to the noise level, high noise level. Impact of this noise pollution, the noise pollution can have serious effects on both humans and animals. On humans, it can cause stress, hearing loss, sleep disturbances, lower productivity, reduced concentration, etc. So stress, a constant noise makes the people feel tense and irritated. Hearing loss, long exposure to loud sounds, it can damage the hearing permanently. The sleep disturbances, like noise, disturb the sleep, leading to tiredness and health problems. It reduces the concentration. Loud noise makes it is very difficult to focus on work or studies. And in workplaces, the noise affect how well people can perform the task. On not only on humans, on wildlife, particularly animals that rely on sound for communications. Many animals they rely on sound for communication. Loud noises it will disturb them and make it very hard for them to find the food, avoid the predators, and or finding their mate. So noise it pollution it affects the natural habitats of birds and marine animals. What are the corrective or and preventive measures? Corrective and preventive measures like that is to reduce the noise pollution. You can have sound barriers. You can limit the activity hours. You can have quieter technologies and awareness programs. Sound barriers, they are building walls or barriers along the highways to block the direct sound traffic noise from spreading to the nearby areas. Or we can limit or restrict the noisy activity like construction or industrial work to a specific hours of a day, usually during the daytime. And we should have encourage the use of modern quieter machines and vehicles to reduce the noise level, and we have to educate the people about the harmful effects of noise pollution and encourage them to reduce unnecessary noise like honking traffic, simply making that honking sound. Relevant laws to support the noise pollution regulation and control rules 2000. This law in India it set the limit on the noise level in residential, noise level in commercial and in industrial areas. It also includes the rules for controlling noise from loudspeakers, from vehicles as well as the firecrackers. A case study, if we take a simple case study, Mumbai noise pollution control campaign. In Mumbai of India, a campaign was launched not to control the noise pollution in the city. They did by noise mapping, they did monitoring programs, they did reduction efforts. The authorities they created a map showing the area with the highest level of noise pollution, like the traffic heavy zones and the crowded markets. Then devices were installed to make or to measure the noise levels regularly to identify the problem areas. Then steps were taken to control the noise in these hotspots by enforcing strict rules. against honking and limiting the use of loudspeakers. So this campaign helped to reduce the noise pollution in many parts of Mumbai and raised awareness among citizens about the importance of a quiet, calm, peaceful surrounding. Soil pollution. Soil pollution refers, or today we know about soil pollution because the agricultural food generation getting contaminated. So the pollutants, they reduce soil qualities, making it difficult for plants and animals to survive. So soil pollution also, it affects the agriculture, it affects human health, and even the water sources. So the causes, affect, solutions, and case study is given here. Okay, so the sources. Soil pollution happens when the harmful chemicals or the waste material mix with the soil. So this makes the soil unhealthy for growing the crops, supporting the animals, or even holding clean water. So sources of soil pollution: agriculture chemicals, industrial waste, illegal dumping, and the mainly the mining activities are sources of soil pollution. The farmers, they use pesticides and fertilizers to grow crops, not in the exact amount. Too much excess they use, that will the excess use, it will harm the soil. Industrial waste, like industry release toxic waste, which often ends up in soil pollution. Throwing garbage of for the hazardous material into open areas, they pollute the soil. The digging of minerals and metals, it leave harmful residues in the soil, damaging its quality. Impacts, it reduces. Soil pollution has several negative impacts, like on agricultural, on water quality, as well as on ecosystem. On agriculture, the polluted soil, it loses its fertility, which means the crops cannot grow properly. The food which is grown in this contaminated soil can also carry the harmful chemicals, which is affecting our health, human health. Water, the pollutants in the soil can go to water, groundwater, seep into groundwater, contaminating the drinking water sources. Ecosystem, the soil pollution it harms the animals and plants which depend upon a clean soil. It disrupts the ecosystem by killing helpful organisms like the earthworms, which keep the soil healthy, making it fertile. Killing that earthworms is also a part of impact of soil pollution. Now, corrective and preventive measures. Uh, Organic farming is one of the method. We have to use natural fertilizers. We need to use best pest control methods instead of harmful chemicals. We should use we should have a safe waste disposal, dispose of industrial and the household waste properly to prevent toxic materials from reaching the soil. Soil remediation techniques need to be used, like bioremediation or phytoremediation. Bioremediation means using the microorganisms to break down the harmful substances in the soil, and phytoremediation, that is growing special plants which can absorb and neutralize toxic chemicals from the soil. Relevant laws: Environment Protection Act of 1986 in India. This law was introduced to protect the environment, including the soil. It set rules for the safe disposal of industrial waste to prevent the soil pollution. Case studies. Uh, Case studies, one from USA, United States. The Love Canal Incident. Name, very good name. A famous example of soil pollution. It is the Love Canal Incident of United States. What happened? It was in 1940s and 1950s. A company buried the industrial waste underground in the Love Canal area of New York. It's an area Okay, all these chemicals it leaked into the soil and nearby water resources. The impact was the leaked chemicals it caused severe health problems including cancer for people living in the area, and also damaged the environment, killing the plants and animals. Now, what responses the United States government declared? They declared the area as a disaster zone. They evacuated the residents and they worked together to clean the soil. This incident it raised awareness about the importance of proper waste management to prevent the soil pollution throughout the world. Okay, so I love this incident now, the Love Canal incident, one of the best example, so that others are not doing it, burying the industrial waste underground, that too near to a water body, that too Love Canal water body, should not do. Then we move on to the next one, that is air pollution. Okay, air pollution. Okay, air pollution. It is the contamination of air by harmful gases, uh, particles, and the biological molecules impacting public health and the climate. The sources, impact, corrective preventive measures, Blend Act case study are given here, similar to that of soil and noise pollution, same way it is arranged. So, vehicles, the mainly pollute the air. Industrial emissions are another reason. Agriculture burning, burning the unused crops after getting the yield, burning the field causes that much of air pollution. Then the dust particle coming from the construction site and the wildfires. It is a natural wildfire. These are sources of main sources of air pollution. The impacts are like it causes respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. Global warming, climate change, it contributes towards crops getting damaged, buildings are getting damaged. One of best example was the uh, Agra. Okay, now taking two specific examples, and it also disturbs the ecosystem. Now, promotion of clean energy, one of the corrective or preventive measure, using solar energy or wind energy, which are clean energy sources for the public transport, means converting using electric vehicles in place of the fuel burned vehicles, diesel and petrol. Use of emission control devices on vehicles and factories, converting the emission exhaust pipe, uh, reducing that poisonous gases to release to the air. The relevant act was the Air Prevention and Control Act of 1981 in India. Example or case study, that is the Beijing air pollution control of China. It is implemented policies after that incident. They implemented policy to reduce emission, including car restrictions, closing high polluting factories in that area. Okay, moving to the waste management. Waste management, uh, about types of waste and the management. Okay, there are different types of waste. Each needs to be managed in a specific way. So we'll see one by one. This module is lengthier. Biomedical waste. Biomedical waste includes waste generated from the hospitals, clinics, and laboratories. It includes items like the needles used, the bandages used, the surgical tools used, and even the expired medicine. How it can be managed? It can be managed by segregation, it can be managed by treatment, as well as a safe disposal. Biomedical waste, it is separated into color codes, color coded containers, and treatment through incineration or autoclave. Incineration means burning at high temperature, destroying the harmful materials. Autoclave means using steam to sterilize the waste. Then safe disposal. After treatment, the waste is sent into special facilities for its disposal. Relevant law was the Biomedical Waste Management Rule of 2016 to ensure the proper handling and disposal of biomedical waste in India. Now, what is the solid waste? Solid waste, it comes from home, schools, and business. It includes food scraps, paper, plastic glasses, packaging media. Some 10 or 15 years back, I had a friend of a civil engineer was doing his research PhD. He was doing it on solid waste. So I used to call him solid waste. Okay, but it was a very good research topic that he took. He identified different solid waste, how it is getting generated, how it can be recycled in a particular area of his interest, and he proposed the ideas and he shown how it can be cleaned, and he got PhD. But still I will call him as solid waste. Okay, so how it is managed, this solid waste? Separating the biodegradable waste like food from the non-biodegradable waste like plastic, that is segregation. Recycling paper, metal, plastics, these can be recycled into new product. Then it can be composted, the biodegradable, the non-recyclable product waste, that can be, they may be the biodegradable one, they can be converted into compost as a fertilizer, it can be used as a fertilizer. Relevant law was in 2016, provided guidelines for the wastewater segregation and recycling and disposal. Now the hazardous waste, what is hazardous waste? Hazardous waste contains harmful chemicals or materials which can harm people and the environment. The example for such hazardous waste include the acids, the batteries, industrial chemicals. How it can be managed? It can be managed by specialized treatment like hazardous waste. It is treated in special facilities to neutralize the harmful chemicals. Then it is carefully packaged and stored to prevent the leak or its spill. And the disposal is done only in a secure government approved sites. The relevant law for this is hazardous and other waste management and transboundary movement rule of 2016 to regulate the safe handling and disposal of hazardous waste. Now comes e-waste. E-waste means electronic waste like old computers, mobile phones, televisions, and other electronic gadgets. So the electronic waste, it contains both valuable metals like gold, silver are there in the electronic waste, as well as it contains harmful substances like lead and mercury. By listening that gold is there in electronic waste, people don't go and try to separate it. It needs special skills, and the amount of gold obtained and the work that you are doing will not be matching. Will be very minor quantity of gold. Therefore, separate methods and procedures are there. A clean setup required. Otherwise, it will be harmful for the people, hazardous for the people who are working, as well as for the people surrounding, as well as the environment. So don't try it. I tried once and I understood that it is not possible from my side, and I stopped it. So I am advising you. Now, how it is managed? Collecting and recycling. Collecting and recycling. Where is it? Collecting and recycling. E-waste is sent to special recycling centers to recover the valuable materials. You don't try it. That is what I said. So safe disposal, toxic parts are separately safely disposed to prevent the environmental damage. And the companies which are making electronic product, they must collect or recycle the all devices. These are the uh, managing methods. The relevant act for or the relevant law is e-waste management rule of 2016, which ensures proper recycling and disposal of electronic waste. Now the industrial and municipal sludge, last topic. So what is sludge? Sludge means it is a semi-solid material which is left behind after the waste water is treated in factories or in the treatment plants of municipalities. How it is managed? It can be managed by dewatering, composting, and incineration. Dewatering means water is removed from the sludge to make it easier to handle. The organic sludge is converted into fertilizer for agriculture, that is composting. The toxic industrial sludge, it is buried to remove the harmful chemical, that is incineration. Burned, not buried. It is burned to remove the harmful chemicals. Relevant law was the Water Prevention and Control Pollution Act of 1974. It regulates how sludge and wastewater are treated and disposed of. Now, why is this is important? It protects the uh, health. It proper disposal of wastewater. It prevents diseases and infections. It saves the resources. Recycling, it reduces the need for new raw materials. Can reuse it. That is saving the resources and also reduces pollution. The safe treatment of waste, it keeps air, water, and soil clean. That's about module 3. Module 3 is much I have covered. The important one, the love canal incident also covered, and that's about module 3. Okay, so you can get this study material from my YouTube channel's description box. Thank you very much for watching. Please do share this video to others and subscribe, support me. Thank you very much.